What's up, Face-Off fanatics? Welcome back once again to the Movie Trivia Face-Off, the Geektacular League, and it is a special day today because I am joined on the desk by one half of the very best announced team in the biz, live from Club Blood Nashville. It is Alex, the Gothfather Frost.
Elk, I know what you've been putting up around here lately, and it hasn't exactly been my, standard. So I am back on the desk with you to make your life just a little bit easier.
And you will make my life a little bit easier because we've got a match that's going to pose a bit of a challenge for us because we have a debut happening today here in the MTFO Geektacular League. We know one of our competitors, Brannon Big Time Dunlap, represented, of course, by the bombastic Brooklyn Vale. He's coming on in to show his knowledge, to see what he can do, but he's coming up against somebody brand new, somebody a little bit special. Once in a generation, somebody comes along and you just describe them with one name, one word. There was Madonna, there was Cher, and now there's CommentatoringNerd, which I thought was two words, but I was corrected before we got on the air.
Yikes. So, yes, we have two debuts in the Geektacular. Always really difficult to call. You never quite know what your opponent is bringing to the table. We've seen Brannon before. We, of course, know the new British Empire. We don't know anything about CommentatoringNerd, so it's tough to call. Right now, it's 50-50.
It is a bit of a toss-up, but maybe we'll get a little bit of help as we hear from our competitors, see what they had to say. Let's take it to those pre-match interviews right now.
That's my spot. Hello. Welcome to the first episode of Fun in the Fan Leagues with yours truly, CommentatoringNerd. Today I'm going to be teaching you all how extraordinary I am at movie trivia and how I am going to defeat my opponent, Brannon, in Movie Trivia Face-Off Geektacular. My friends tell me I can come off rude, but I am just trying to state facts. Whether it's Geektacular or singles movie trivia knowledge, my IQ is far beyond that of a normal human. I like to think of myself as a higher step in human evolution, a homo novus, if you will. Anyway, I have brought some show and tell items to illustrate how much geek knowledge is up here and a part of me. People have regular risk. Well, I have risk. I have R2 here, help me out, and I am channeling the 10th Doctor, complete with sonic screwdriver. I was going to show you my wand from Harry Potter, but it is hidden buried in some boxes, and Akio wand didn't work.
Brannon, the new British Empire is back. We are back here in Geektacular. Adam couldn't quite do us, so we gotta get you in here. The other half of We're Your Density, the Back to the Future guys, going up against somebody who doesn't even have a name, just the commentating nerd, this enigma, this mystery, and we are here to solve the mystery, right?
Oh yes, it has been a long road getting me here, but I am super excited to be here in my premiere match in Geektacular. And you're right, CommentatoringNerd is a mystery, an enigma. The only thing that I've figured out is that we both like The Big Bang Theory, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go easy on him.
With all this superior movie knowledge, there is no way Brannon can defeat me. Well, I suppose there is a chance you can beat me. Bazinga.
Mr. Nerd, commentator, however you want to be described, you are a stepping stone for the new British Empire, because, as always, the Empire will rise.
All right, we are back from those pre-match interviews. Both our competitors talking a big game. Brannon, obviously representing for the new British Empire, wanting to get that win under his belt. The factions are at war here in Geektacular, showing what they know, and you want to get off to a good start, get those wins, and make everybody know that yours is the faction to fear. We've got a lot of them out here today, and in these days, they're really going at it. They're really showing their knowledge, and I know that Brannon wants to do that, but CommentatoringNerd coming on in. Interesting interview from CommentatoringNerd. A very different kind of person, but I will say if there's one thing I came out of that interview knowing, definitely a geeky individual.
Well, if there's a test to be considered a geeky individual, this is it. You've come to the Geektacular, but be very, very warned. There are no slow starts. It is running starts only.
That is right. This is the big test. This is the way that you prove your mettle. And in this division right now, this is the way that you move forward, possibly into that World War Geek matchup. Make yourself known for that title shot, get into that picture. Both our competitors today definitely want to step up and show what they know. I am super ready to get this match going, Alex, if you are ready.
Hit it.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to face off. Ladies and gentlemen, facing off in the movie trivia face-off Geektacular division, introducing first, representing the new British Empire and being accompanied to the ring by his manager, Brooklyn Vale, he is Brannon, Big Time Dunlap.
Let's do this, guys.
Hello, Brannon. Ready to go. You've got a big opponent coming up to the desk against you, debuting today. Introducing next, his opponent, making his MTFO Geektacular debut. He is known simply as Commentating Nerd.
Hello.
Well, Commentating Nerd is here. He is dressed for success, it appears, Alex.
I love a man with props.
Absolutely. Will he be getting mad props? We will see if he can take that victory and impress everybody here in the league with our competitors on the desk. Gentlemen, I will ask you both one time. Commentating Nerd, are you ready?
I'm ready.
And Brannon, Big Time Dunlap, are you ready?
Yep, I got my plutonium, ready to gun it to 88 miles an hour and get this done.
All right, Back to the Future reference. Good start for a Geektacular match. Let's get right into it, fans. Let's get ready to face off. All right, gentlemen, we are going to get you going into round number one, and here are your rules. In round number one in the Geektacular division, you will receive 10 questions from various Geektacular categories. Each of these questions will be worth 1 point. We will be asking you those questions and asking you to write them on your whiteboards. Please keep your hands and whiteboards on screen at all time while questions are being asked. Once we have asked the question, you will have approximately 15 seconds to give your best attempt at an answer. Once we call for you by name after that countdown, please show us your board and verbalize your answer at the same time. Each question in this round worth 1 point. No stealing is available in round number one. And gentlemen, please recall you have your 3 repeats and your challenge throughout the course of this match. If you need any clarification on those repeats, those challenges, or any of the rules, let us know. We will be happy to give those to you. Alex, if you are ready, we can do this. Round number one, get it going, and the first question will be yours.
Well, thank you very much. Your first question, guys, comes from the category of Marvel films. What is the subtitle for the second X-Men movie?
Well, Alex, these Fox X-Men movies, now I guess Disney X-Men movies officially, a little bit hit and miss. There's some good ones, there's some bad ones.
And will we ever see New Mutants?
That is the question.
No.
Well, one of the questions. This question in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, and I'll start with Brannon.
You know, I knew something was going to happen to push that movie back again. I did not think it was going to be this, but X-Men United is the subtitle.
Yes, correct. Thank you for a point. And Commentating Nerd?
X-Men United.
Perfect.
All right, Commentating Nerd with the big board. Got a lot of writing to do on that, I'm imagining. Gentlemen, well done on your first question. Let's keep it going. Question number 2 will come in the category Heroes and Villains. Heroes and Villains. Your question is, in how many Pirates of the Caribbean films does the character of Will Turner appear? What's your favorite Pirates movie, Alex?
You know, I'm going to go on a bit of a strange turn, and I'm going to say Dead Man's Chest. I think the fight sequences really are more interesting than anything else. Fighting a 3-man fight on a giant wheel, I think, is really the best, most ridiculous thing that's ever happened.
I'm partial to Pirates of the Caribbean 7, The Haunted Crow's Nest, or whatever. And gentlemen, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No repeats, pens down. Commentating Nerd.
Horror movies.
That is the correct answer, Brannon.
He was in 4.
Yes, he was.
Still going strong. Your third question comes from the category of Star Wars. Who says the famous line, "I have a bad feeling about this," in Return of the Jedi?
Famous line comes up all the time in these Star Wars films. I know my favorite line from a movie, the one that I want to say in real life, yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
No, it looks like it even gave both of them a little bit of pause. We might have some differing answers on this.
It is possible, but of course, no David Garcia here to jinx it for them in round number 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens are down.
And I'll start with Brannon.
I went back and forth, man, but I hope I got it. Han Solo.
Han Solo is incorrect. So we go to
Dang, okay.
Commentating Nerd.
Okay, is it Lando?
One more time. No, it is not Lando Calrissian. I told you we were going to have differing answers on this. The correct answer is C-3PO.
C-3PO.
Dude, he was my second guess. My God.
Oh,
Okay.
God himself. Well, it looks like the jinx can come down regardless of who's on the desk. But gentlemen, still some points to put up in this round. Keep that momentum rolling. Get yourself on that board a little bit further. Let's go into question number 4, and that will come in the category of MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Your question is, what model of Iron Man armor does Tony make after he returns from captivity in the first Iron Man? What would you name your super suit of armor, Alex?
Jenna, Mary, Christine. You know.
Sounds like a sequel to Mambo number 5. And 5, 4,
Mambo number me.
3, 2, 1. All right, pens are down. Commentating Nerd, do you have it?
Is it MV2?
MD2 is the answer given. Unfortunately, I don't think we can accept that answer. Not quite right, though. Very close. Brannon, what do you have?
I couldn't remember what they're actually called, but I put Mach 40.
Mach 40. Both slightly incorrect in their writing. The answer we were looking for, you were so close, Commentating Nerd, was Mark II. It's Mark II.
Mark II. Ah.
Just like when you have two friends named Mark. The first one is Mark, and the second one is Mark II.
Dang.
Let's see. That's 2 questions straight that they've missed. Let's see if they can get right back on track. Might be tough because this one comes from the category of DC films. In Tim Burton's Batman, what is the first name of Bruce's love interest?
I remember enjoying this movie. This movie blew up the world when it came out. In the 80s, you could not get away from Batman.
Yeah, I remember watching it like 20 years later. Look at how old he feels. Look at how old he feels.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I only get better with age, Alex. Pen down.
Like a fine wine. I'll go to Brannon.
You know, it's going to make you feel older, Elk. I'm pretty sure my parents were going to go watch it when I was like 4. But her first name is Vicky.
Vicky is correct. And Commentating Nerd?
Her first name is, and you didn't ask for it, but her last name is Vale. So Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale is correct. Vicky specifically is correct. Points all around. Back on track.
All right, Brannon, not that much older because I was only 7 when it came out in theaters. Let's move on.
Okay,
Gentlemen,
all right.
Next question coming to you in the category of, one of my favorites, the Wizarding World. And gentlemen, we will be giving you 20 seconds on this one to answer. Your question is, in how many movies with Harry Potter in them do we not see him ride a broomstick? How many movies do we not see him ride a broomstick?
The Geektacular pause. Eyes up in the air, trying to distantly recall a bit of information from like 24 different movies.
Just 8 in this case, I believe, but definitely the reason we gave them 20 seconds on this one, you can see them going, okay, in this one, in this one, in this one, and they will have to have an answer for us in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see what numbers they have on their boards. Commentating Nerd.
I think it's just 1.
1 is not the correct answer. Brannon.
He didn't ride a broomstick in Deathly Hallows Part 1. He was in the sidecar. 2 movies.
2, also incorrect. Gentlemen, the answer we were looking for, bit of a trick question, was 0. 0.
Where does he fly one in Hallows Part 1?
Yeah, where does he fly on in the Deathly Hallows?
Challenges are on the board. We are waiting for someone to.
We will give you a few seconds,
I'll
gentlemen,
do a
if you
challenge.
wish to challenge.
Commentating Nerd.
And looks like we have something coming in from the manager as well.
So I don't have the knowledge to officially issue.
Hold on, no. I remember my answer. I remember just now, but I'm still trying to figure out where they got like the one movie.
So, okay.
Oh, wait, never mind.
That's fine. Yeah.
Do we have a challenge on the board?
Yeah, so
not on my end.
Challenge is 1.
There is a challenge, yes, from Commentating Nerd. It does look like it. What is your challenge specifically? What is your challenge, Commentating Nerd? Which film are we looking at?
Specifically, Deathly Hallows Part 1, he does not fly on a broomstick.
All right, with that, the challenge is in, folks. As always, we are fair and balanced here at the Movie Trivia Face-Off. So we'll take a moment, take it to our line judges, and we'll be right back. All right, Face-Off fanatics, we are back from our challenge. We have deferred to our experts. We have had a little bit of a discussion about this one. Now, we did not have time to review the entire set of Harry Potter films, although, boy, wouldn't that be interesting. But when we looked at them, when we talked to our expert, it does turn out that Commentating Nerd, living up to the name, telling us exactly how it is, Harry Potter does ride a sidecar in that film and not a broomstick. So we are going to uphold the challenge. He is going to get that point, which means both competitors will still have their challenges, but a point going on the board for Commentating Nerd. Well done with that challenge. And with that, we will continue your round number 1. Gentlemen, with your next question, Alex Frost, take it away.
Well, we've had one of your favorites, Wizarding World. We'll go next to one of my favorites, and that is Middle-earth. In which movie do we get introduced to Radagast the Brown?
Here's the part, Alex, where I get to make myself feel old. My first movie in this franchise was the Rankin and Bass animated movie.
A very strange movie that is. There were a lot of brown in that movie. Is it true that they just called him Aruman at some point?
I believe that is correct, and a lot of rotoscoping in that film, but still, when I was a kid, lots of fun to watch. Gentlemen, we will come to you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And I will start with Brannon.
The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
That is not what I have on my document. That will be considered incorrect until I see otherwise.
Okay.
And Commentating Nerd?
I also had The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
He doesn't show up in
Here we go.
I smell it in the
I'm
air.
challenging because I do not think he shows up in Part 1.
It's possibly he shows up in Part 1.
Normally, I dislike too many challenges, but in this case, I can see where it's coming from, and I feel this is totally fair. So once again, real quick, we're going to take a moment and talk to our experts and our line judge. Right back with you. Once again, fans, we are back from that challenge. Now, we've spoken to our experts, and in this case, although Radagast is mentioned by name in the first Hobbit film, he does not make his on-screen debut until The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. In this particular case, we are going to strike down the challenge. Challenge will not be upheld, which means no points awarded, and we will be losing that challenge for Brannon. Maybe he won't need it later, and I always like a person putting that challenge in when they think it's a borderline case, when they're not quite sure we have it correct. As we just saw, not the worst decision because it can go in your favor. In this case, challenge overturned. With that, gentlemen, we will move forward into round number 1 for you. Let's get going into question number 8. Alex, get our line judges ready for the challenge on this one.
Can't wait.
Your category is mixed bag. Mixed bag. In Hellboy 2, what character falls in love with the elven princess? First name is acceptable. You ever fall in love with an elven princess, Alex? Happens to me like twice a week.
1 or 2. Never ends well. The elves, not historically a people cool with outside dating, if you know what I mean.
It's true. They are a bit xenophobic. Gentlemen, you have 5, 4, 3, 2,
Love you, Michelle.
1. Pens are down. Commentating nerd, what do you got?
I had no answer.
No answer at all from commentating nerd. Brannon, you can tie it up if you have the correct answer.
God, nothing, man. I cannot remember her name.
Oh, we were looking for Abe Sapien or Abraham Sapien. Abe Sapien was the answer.
I know you guys were looking for another challenge, but I don't have any more to give, so.
That's absolutely fine. This is still a long match to go. We might get another challenge. Your next question, your 9th question, comes from the category of...
We're at question 9 already? All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Goes from the category of the DCEU. Bit of a recent release. Who plays Roman Sionis in Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey was actually a very good movie, criminally underviewed at the movie theaters, but I got to agree with a lot of people out there. I don't understand the R rating. I think they could have shot for that PG-13, get the Hot Topic crowd in there.
Have you been to Hot Topic recently? They did get the Hot Topic crowd in there.
They did get the Hot Topic crowd.
All right. Well, the only thing I know for sure is more believable love story with Harley Quinn, not the Joker, but an egg and cheese sandwich. Gentlemen, 5, 4,
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
And I'll start with Brannon.
Mr. Ewan McGregor.
You even almost pronounced it correctly. And we go to Commentating Nerd.
I tried.
It is Ewan McGregor.
Lovely. Thank you.
Ewan McGregor, a wonderful actor, definitely defines a generation of film-going experiences. Gentlemen, let's move on to your 10th and final question in this round. Last chance to get those big points on the board. Category is Star Trek. And your question is, William Shatner plays the character of James Tiberius Kirk in how many Star Trek movies?
Oh, good Lord.
Now, as a Star Trek fan, I don't think this is quite as difficult as the last one we asked them to count movies, but who knows? We will see.
I can't wait for the answer to be 0, and we have another challenge. I can't wait.
Well, I certainly hope that it's not 0, but we will need to know the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, I think he wants a repeat.
He wants a repeat. Not a problem. I can do that for you. I apologize. Couldn't quite hear that repeat. Gentlemen, your question in Star Trek. William Shatner portrays the character of James Tiberius Kirk in how many Star Trek movies? Desperately hoping, Alex, that the answer to this question is at least 1.
No, you never know. We could find out that Shatner had like a twin brother.
It's true. What if it was the evil clone from the alternate dimension? I didn't see the goatee, but he could have shaved.
He could have shaved.
Oh, my God.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens are down for the final time this round. Commentating nerd.
Hey, he is in 7 of the Star Trek movies.
7 films. That is correct. The original 6 plus Generations. Brannon.
Yes. 7.
Wonderful.
There we go on the board. A little rough in the middle of that round, Alex, but nice recovery and some good use of challenges. We had them back to back. I actually like both of those challenges. I think they were well used. Unfortunately, it only came down in the favor of Commentating Nerd, and you can see that difference in the points right now as he leads Brannon by a single point.
Well, you say that, but it's only round 1. We still have 2 more rounds to go, and you know this. My least favorite round is coming up, the wheel round.
That is
Bum, bum, bum.
right. The Wheel of Fate, Doom, Justice, and damn it, I spun that. Coming up for you right now, folks, we are going to get that wheel ready, and we are going to get you your rules, gentlemen, for round number 2. Round number 2 in the Geektacular division is, of course, the wheel round. In this round, each competitor will get a spin at the movie trivia category wheel. Whatever it lands on, unless it's opponent's or spinner's choice, you may choose to keep that category, or you may choose to respin up to 1 time. Once you spun your second time, or it's landed on opponent's or spinner's choice, you will be assigned a category, and you will have to keep it. Once you have a category, you'll be asked 5 questions from that category. Each question will, of course, be worth 2 points if you can answer without assistance. If you need assistance, multiple choice, 4 answers, 1 of them correct, you will get 1 point. Keep in mind, steals are live in this round. If you miss your question or fail to answer, your opponent can steal at the current point value of the question. At this time, our competitors have 2 repeats and a challenge left for Commentating Nerd. All 3 repeats and no challenge left on the board for Brannon. We have the managers in to assist as well, but we won't need him right away necessarily, because right now, Commentating Nerd, you are leading by 1 point. Would you like to spin first or defer to your opponent?
I would like to spin first.
He will be spinning first. Your categories on the wheel today will be MCU, movie release dates, Star Trek, Middle Earth, Back to the Future, Wizarding World, DCEU, Marvel, Star Wars, and DC, as well as opponents and spinner's choice. Whenever you are ready, Commentating Nerd, give it a spin. Alex, it's a nail-biting moment when that wheel's spinning around. You want to see it come down on something you like. Will Commentating Nerd like movie release dates?
I will stick with movie release dates.
And he is keeping it. This is one of those categories, Alex, that when people spin it in the league, they either spin away right away, they run like their life depended on it, or they snap it up, they take it, and they hope to do well. We've seen some good performances before.
And we've seen some terrible performances before.
That is absolutely true, but I don't compete anymore with that category up, movie release dates. Let's throw it to Alex Frost. Alex Frost, please go ahead with those questions.
I feel I jinxed it. That's all right. We'll see what happens. Your category of movie release dates, your first question. What 2018 MCU movie had an MCU debuting director?
That would be Black Panther with Ryan Coogler.
Correct for 2 points. Very nice. Your second question. On what year did Willow appear in theaters?
Willow, not quite the successful fantasy epic they wanted.
Multiple choice.
All right.
Still good though.
Yeah. Is it A, 1985, B, 1990, C, 1988, or D, 1986?
Now, normally I don't throw shade at our document. I know this was just a typo, but I have to tell you fans about it. I'm looking at it right here. And Alex, good correction, but we actually have listed here the year 185 as one of your options. I'm sure that meant to be 1985.
Could you repeat the answer choices one more time?
Absolutely. Is it A, 1985, B, 1990, C, 1988, or D, 1986?
Let's go with 1988.
That is correct for 1 point.
Let's go with a point.
All right. Your third question. What year saw the release of a Terminator, a Ninja Turtles, and a Star Trek movie?
This would have been a good year for young me.
It would have been a good year for teenage you, not
Let's
young.
be honest, this would be a good year for current me.
Multiple choice.
I can do that. Is it A, 2016, B, 1996, C, 1983, or D, 1991?
I guess it's 2016 then.
2016 is incorrect, and I'll go to Brandon for a steal.
It's 1991.
And a steal, it is for 1 point. 1991 is correct.
Good steal. And real quick, gentlemen, we are not implying anything about you, but I'm just going to remind you real quick. Please, while you're answering questions or waiting for that steal, keep your hands visible on screen for us. Thank you.
Thank you there.
Gotcha.
Your fourth question. What year was Daredevil released?
Not necessarily a good year for old me, young me, or current me.
2006.
2006 is also incorrect. And we go to we go to Brandon for a steal. 2 points.
I know it's either one or the other. 2004?
Overshot it by just
It's
one.
5, isn't it?
Nope, it is
I knew it was 4 or 5.
Hit that.
It is, in fact, 2003.
2003 is
3. Oh, okay.
He's living up to his manager's legend right there.
by just one.
Ouch.
Oh, the shade. The
Bazinga.
shade. Your commentator nerd, back to you. For your fifth and final question of movie release dates, 2005 saw the release of Batman Begins and what other DC movie?
Five, 4, 3. We have a repeat.
2005 saw the release of Batman Begins and what other DC movie?
Multiple choice.
All right, I could do that. Is it A, Superman Returns, B, Red, C, Road to Perdition, or D, Constantine?
I very much enjoy 2 of these films.
I think it's Road to Perdition.
Road to Perdition is incorrect. And we'll go back to Brannon for a steal.
I have a sneaking suspicion it's Constantine. I'm going to roll with that.
Well done for another point picked up by Brannon. Somebody call the cops.
Good steal by Brannon, commentating nerd. Very confident in that category. Didn't quite work out the way he wanted, giving up some points and missing a couple of answers. That is unfortunate. But of course, you never know how it's going to go until it's all said and done. And Brannon still has to spin at that wheel. So steel's still available and lots of points ready to go in round number 2. Could be very exciting. Let's bring that wheel back on up for them. All right, Brannon, the wheel is ready. Your manager is here to confer. Please spin at your ready.
Yay. Let's whoosh it, baby.
Whoosh it is, and it will be for your first spin. Looks like Marvel.
Ooh.
You're only down by 2, so I don't mind a respin if you want.
I think I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's respin it. I'm good with Marvel, but I see other things I can do better at.
How many more are you thinking?
1, 2, 3, 4.
And I'm going to give them a count. We're going to need a decision, gentlemen, in 5, 4,
Yeah, that's fine.
3,
I can.
Two.
Okay,
2.
respin it.
Respinning that wheel. Will he like what he lands on better than Marvel, or will it be a marvelous failure? It is going to be so
Come on,
close.
baby. Come on, baby.
So close.
No, you go.
And
Okay, all right.
DC
I'm okay with
Extended
that.
Universe. The DC Extended Universe. I think,
Oh, so close.
correct me if I'm wrong, I think he might have wanted Wizarding World.
Yeah, it's very subtle. You're very wise to pick up on it. But he may have wanted
I've
Wizarding
never
World.
had it spun in a match before.
Just a possibility. Well, let's see. He didn't hit Wizarding World, but can he make the magic happen in DCEU? Brannon, 5 questions coming your way.
Yes.
Question number 1 in DCEU. In Wonder Woman, what object does Ludendorff throw into the room of generals before locking them in with Dr. Poison's chemical gas?
It is. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
I can repeat the question that will be charged a repeat. In Wonder Woman, what object does Ludendorff throw into the room of generals before locking them in with Dr. Poison's chemical gas?
Multiple choice, please.
I can do that. Brannon, your multiple choice options. A, grenade. B, peace agreement. C, gas mask. D, gun.
I believe it was a gas mask. I know that sounds stupid, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Does it sound stupid or does it sound like 1 point on the board for Brannon? That is correct. It was a gas mask. That doesn't work, but they don't know that. All right. Your second question, Brannon.
That's right. I remember that now.
It is in Shazam. Which college is Mary interviewing with on the phone when she first meets Billy? We need the college. Deeper cut question here, Alex. I don't know if I'd be able to pull that.
We'll see.
Can I get it's? Oh God.
And
I know what multiple choice is going to be, but let's do multiple choice.
We can do that for you. Moving to multiple choice again could be a smart move. Your options, Brannon. A, Occidental College. B, University of California, Berkeley. C, USC. D, Caltech.
Berkeley.
University of California, Berkeley is incorrect. Commentating Nerd, I will give you your options once again for the steal. A, Occidental College. B, University of California, Berkeley. C, USC. D, Caltech.
USC.
USC, also incorrect. We were looking for Caltech. Caltech was the school. So no steal given
That's
up. That's
ironic.
No point on the board. Let's go ahead and move on to your next question. Brannon, I need you to tell me what song plays at the beginning of Amanda Waller's introduction of Harley Quinn in the Oscar-winning Suicide Squad?
Oh my God. Multiple choice.
Doesn't like the scores and soundtracks question sneaking in. Your multiple choice options, Brannon. You can choose from A, You Don't Own Me. B, Super Freak. C, I Started a Joke. D, Send in the Clowns.
It's Super Freak.
It is, in fact, a Super Freak. She is the kind of girl you don't take home to mother.
I knew it. I needed to hear the, yeah.
Good navigation so far. Some tough questions, but using that multiple choice well and keeping himself up. He's now tied the game and has 2 questions remaining, but with Steals Live, we'll see what happens. Brannon, question number 4. What is the first name of Holly Hunter's Senator Finch in Batman v Superman?
I'm sorry, multiple choice again.
I can do that for you, and I was actually kind of hoping for it in this case because your multiple choice options are A, January, B, April, C, May, D, June.
We know you know your Bruce Waynes. Do you know your Senator Finches?
Just as long as you know not to drink from her tea.
I'm going to go with June Finch.
June Finch. Very similar to June Moon and also correct. That is 1 point on the board. Well done. Lots of Junes in the DCE universe. My favorite month of the year.
They can't pick another month.
All right. And Brannon, you have now taken a 1 point lead. We're going into your final question in round number 2 in the DCEU. Your question is, in Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, which weapon is Batman using to threaten Superman when he ends the fight by speaking Martha's name?
Why did you say that name?
That's my mother's name.
Why did you say that name? It's his mother's name. It's the Kryptonite Spear.
Yes, it is. Moving Brannon forward into a 3-point lead coming out of round number 2. Still fairly close going into round number 3, the championship round in this case, the winner's round at least. And Brannon handling that category very well. Got some deep cuts, but good use of multiple choice and manages to put up some points and take that very important lead. What do you think of round 2, Alex?
Well, it was tough, and you start to see where this is their first match here. Movie release dates, sometimes you think it's a slam dunk. Sometimes you get hit with some well, you get hit with Willow. And as far as DC, there's too many characters. There's a lot of names. There's a lot going on. Sometimes you get hit with a super freak.
It is true. Who's going to come out with the victory? We will find out right now as we move gentlemen forward into round number 3. In this, the third and final round in the Geektacular division, gentlemen, you will each give us 3 numbers. Those numbers will correspond to various movie trivia categories, and you may select from the range of 1 through 18. 1 through 18. Once you've given us your numbers, we will ask you 3 questions. Question number 1 will be worth 2 points. Question number 2 will be worth 3 points, and question number 3 worth 5 big points. All right, and there is no stealing available in this round. Gentlemen, once you have been asked the question, there is no chance to lose those points. Just give us your best attempt at an answer. You will have the 15 seconds, just like in that first round. At this time, we have 1 repeat and the challenge remaining on the board for Commentating Nerd. Brannon with 2 repeats and no challenge available. And Brannon also currently enjoying a 3-point lead, which means, Brannon, we will go to you to pick your 3 numbers.
2, 7, and 14.
2, 7, and 14 for Brannon. And Commentating Nerd.
3, 4, and 8.
3, 4, and 8. We can do that for you. And with a very exciting round 3 ahead of us, we're going to kick it off, as always, to kick off round number 3 in style. My announced partner, it is Alex Frost.
And we're going right back to it because category 3 corresponds for your 2-pointer to the DCEU. Lois Lane works for what newspaper?
The Daily Planet.
Correct for 2 points.
That is the correct answer. Thought maybe it was a trick question, but it is a 2-pointer. Just got to take that shot.
Don't worry, everything is fine. And we go now to your 3-pointer, which corresponds to category 4. To send it back to Brannon, the 4th category corresponds to scores and soundtracks. Besides Hans Zimmer, which other composer has scored more than one DCEU film?
Alex, our question writers have been listening to soundtracks, it appears. A couple of those questions sneaking in.
The road does not get any easier through source scores and soundtracks.
And 5, 4.
Repeat.
All right. Besides Hans Zimmer, which other composer has scored more than one DCEU film?
It's Rupert Gregson Williams.
Well, he needed it, he used it, and he got the 3 points. Very well done.
Great use of that final repeat. He's going to hope he doesn't need it on that last question, but I love that. He gets the points where he may not have quite been able to pull it. That's how you use a repeat, folks. And with that, we will go back over to big time. Brannon, Dunlap. Brannon, round number 3 ready. I will remind you, you have 2 repeats on the board if you need them for any reason. And we will kick off with your 2-pointer, which comes in category number 2. Your question is, what is the civilian name of the superhero known as the Invisible Woman?
Sue Storm.
Susan or Sue Storm, both correct. That is 2 big points and throws it back to Commentating Nerd. Right, so with that, he's going to tie up the match. It is now 14-14. Because Brannon has extra questions remaining, he has a lower valued question. This is the way we do it here in the MTFO. He will answer his 3-pointer first to see if he can throw it back and make that must-win situation, but it's a very tight game. Brannon, we will do your 3-point question, and that is in category number 7. Category number 7. Judging by his shirt, he's going to like this. Back to the Future. Back to the Future, Brannon. And your question is, what musical artist performs as the character of Needles in the Back to the Future franchise? And to clarify, we will accept either the real name or the stage name.
I don't know his real name, but it's Flea.
It is Flea, also known as Michael Peter Balzery from my favorite band, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Well done.
Yep.
3 points, and we throw it back to Commentating Nerd, which means, Alex, that we are in that situation. It's down to this. They both have 1 question remaining, but Brannon able to keep the lead to this point, which means if Commentating Nerd answers this question, he will throw it back to Brannon for the must-answer situation. If he misses it, the match will be over, and Brannon will take down that big, big victory.
So you wanted to play in the Geektacular? Sometimes that means pushing to your 5-point question. Commentating Nerd, your 5-point question comes from category 8, which is Star Trek. What is the name of the frozen Klingon planet, prison planet, from Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country? No repeats left.
Repente.
That is
Correct. For 5 big
Well done.
points.
Good pull with Rura Pente. He has watched his Star Trek 6, and there's no need for him to look at us and the question writers and yell, "Con!" today. Good hit from Commentating Nerd. So we're in that same situation. The must answer, only this time it goes back to Brannon. Brannon, you are just behind your opponent, but every point matters, and you have to answer. It's do or die, yes or no. If you can get this, you will win the match. If you miss it, Commentating Nerd, with that successful 5-pointer, will be the winner in his movie trivia face-off debut. It does not get tighter. It does not get more exciting than this coming down to that last question. And Brannon, I will remind you, for fairness, you do have 2 repeats left on the board should you need them. Your question comes in category number 14 for 5 big points and the win. Movie release dates. Your question is, what year saw the release of a DC movie, an MCU movie, and a Narnia movie?
Good grief.
He did get one similar to this before, but it's not a 5-point situation then. It is now. Racking his brain. Tough question.
This is so rough.
5, 4.
Can I get a repeat?
3. We can do that for you. Your question, Brannon. Which year saw the release of a DC movie, an MCU movie, and a Narnia movie? One repeat left. A Narnia movie may be the trick one here. It's new to this Geektacular League, so might just not quite know it.
And that's the thing. It's a 5-pointer. They could all be the trick.
Okay.
5, 4.
2011.
And your winner, Commentating Nerd. Once again, the Brooklyn Vale sandwich. He was so close. He said 2011. It was 2010 with the losers. Iron Man of Narnia 3. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh,
One year off.
dude.
Alex, that has got to be painful for him. He was right there. He was on the border. Do you think if he used that, he could have got it closer, or you just had to take that shot? He was so close.
At a certain point, you just run out of years. He didn't exactly run out of time, but he took his shot. Sometimes that means hitting 5 big points. Sometimes that means airballing.
And it was a deep cut question. Brannon playing well throughout the match. Look how close it was. We had some challenges. We had some answers that were right on the borderline and just couldn't quite do it today. But I know one man who's going to be very happy is Commentating Nerd, coming out of his debut in impressive fashion with a victory over a hell of a competitor in big time Brannon. I could say all sorts of things about both of these gentlemen, but instead I'll take it over to our post-match interviews. And real quick before I do that, Alex, I just want to say it's been wonderful having you here. A nice change from the idiots they've been putting with lately. Let's take it to those post-match interviews, folks, with who do we have to? David Garcia.
Thank you very much, Elk. I love you too. No. Brannon. Oh, man. What a tight match. I don't think you can hang your head about anything that happened in there. What? How are you feeling?
I'm not gonna lie, David. It sucks.
Yeah.
So close. So close. It went back and forth. Bam, 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 bam. I knew in the after the first round it was gonna be like, you know, bloodied and messy, and to be off by 1 year. I even had the right Narnia movie, and it's
I mean,
I give all the props. Go ahead. Sorry.
you do have the sandwich maker as your manager, but okay. So let's talk round by round. In the first round, how did you feel about performance? 5 point. So
I'm kicking myself for the Harry Potter question because right after I challenged it, I completely spaced when I was writing it down that he rode the broom out of the room requirement. And right after I challenged it, I realized I was wrong, but I wasn't gonna say that he was right. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where,
of course, yeah, that's just like he challenged, and rightfully so, because obviously our question writers, I don't know who that could be, was wrong in the in the answer, but that challenge didn't make the match because that the differential of points was 2. So the next challenge you put out, that wasn't that was not in your favor. Do you want to talk about that one, or do we just
no. I was extremely confident that he was only mentioned in An Unexpected Journey. I really thought he did not show up until the second one, because I remember thinking that, like, when are we going to see this guy? And I just got the scenes mixed up. I remember the scene with the rabbits, and then when Commentating Nerd had the same answer I did, I felt even more justified in my challenge.
In hindsight, I wish that we didn't take that challenge. Like, upon first glance, I was like, all right, whatever, it's fine. It's probably just a mix up or whatever. But but it wouldn't have actually affected the game. And I like in sort of hindsight, 2020, whatever, I would have. I think we should have kept it. Thankfully, we didn't have another challengeable question along the lines. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that round 1 was kind of crazy in terms of challenges thrown away and thrown out and that stuff. But yeah, luckily you didn't need the challenge in the rest of the questions. So Brooklyn, you guys spun Marvel the first time. Do you feel better about DCEU, or right now you would prefer to have a stick with Marvel?
No, I still would have spun away from Marvel. He had about 40% chance of hitting a better category, and they're only down by 2 with like 8 points effective pretty well. That was a risk that I think that we were willing to take, because worst case scenario, like, I think, well, I wouldn't say DCU was the worst case scenario, because that was probably another middling category like Marvel, but he was able to get a lead out of it, just not as substantial a lead as we would have liked. But you know, sometimes you have to take those calculated risks. We took it, and sometimes they're not going to be favorable. Props to Mr. Nerd for hitting his 5-pointer. That was a huge
goal.
That
that planet was nuts, dude.
I personally hate like it doesn't matter if it's here, if it's multiplex, if it's Full Metal, if it's even the Showdown. I hate 5-pointers because it essentially negates the entirety of the rest of the game, where it's like, all right, if you just hit your 5-pointer, then you win. So that's my own personal gripe, and that's not toward any particular league. That's just the game in general. I just hate them, because I would be curious to see what the accuracy percentages are for Brannon and for Commentating Nerd.
Well, that could be probably something we see in the next match. Now that we have something to pull from, I know Cody is going to do a good job with that. But yeah, as you said, Brannon, in the end, it came out to you. He hit his 2, he hit his 3, you hit your 2, you hit your 3, he hit your 5, and you didn't. Both really hard pulls. I mean, that's just how the game goes.
Absolutely. No, and I'm not upset about that at all. To be off by 1 year is what upsets me, because I had it. I knew it was when Dawn Treader came out, MCU was in full swing. I knew there was a DC in there somewhere, and God.
Welcome to my world. I live and breathe that curse every day.
I know you do. And even before I met you, people were saying that, oh, Brooklyn Vale curse. I'm like, who the heck is this Brooklyn Vale guy, and why does he get these years wrong? I'm like, oh, now I get
It's
it.
painful. There hasn't been a cure found. Once I find that cure, I'll give it to you.
I am not disappointed with my performance at all. Not at all. I feel that it was very, very blow for blow. I am happy with how I was able to keep up with CommentatoringNerd because he lives up to his name. He is a nerd in all the best ways. Like I said, pulling that planet question, yeah, right. But no, go ahead, say it.
No, go ahead, finish your.
I look forward to playing again. I know it's going to have to be after World War Geek. I don't know if maybe I can get in a qualifying match. I don't know if that's even thing. But
that's what I was going to say actually. So you are not in World War Geek, but you have the chance to play in another free-for-all style match with less competitors to qualify to World Geek. So Brooklyn, Brannon, I guess you are in for that one, right?
I'm so in.
The Empire has to rise somehow. We can't just sit back and twiddle our thumbs. We have to get back into the trenches. We have to get back in there. What did was it Pennyworth? Was it Alfred? I'm not sure who it was. Why did we fall down so that we could pick ourselves up again?
Why do we fall, Master Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
Insert motivational speech here. That's what we're gonna do. I'm just going to apply that, and then we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back on the saddle.
I'm also curious about one thing. So Brannon, I don't know if you are aware of, but I know Brooklyn, I know you are, and I know you are the kind of throwing challenges. So after World War Geek, is there anyone in the league you want your boy Brannon to play?
I'm not as well versed in the Geektacular lore. I'm not fully aware of the roster, but let's see here, Brannon. Who would I want you to play? I honestly don't know. I would have to do my research and find a suitable opponent, because not necessarily in terms of like I want him to face an inferior opponent. I want him to face one that's evenly matched, because evenly matched competitors make for really entertaining matches. As
like
you
this
can
one.
see in this like this one.
Yeah, it was an entertaining match indeed, and we thank you both for that, Brannon. Great performance.
Thank you, David.
That fake pointer just happens to every one of us sometimes. So
yeah,
we will see you in the qualifying match for World War Geek.
Yes.
We will be right back with the winner, CommentatoringNerd. And we are back with your winner today, CommentatoringNerd. Living up to his name. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'll give it to Brannon. I don't like to give people credit, but at least with Brannon, he played a good game and it was a close match, so I can't deny that. But I will say I could not host a show called Fun in the Fan Leagues and have it reference what it does if I didn't know my Star Trek. And if anything proves I know my Star Trek, it's that 5-point question I hit.
Rura Pense, a hard planet to get. And yeah, Star Trek is a category that trips a lot of competitors in the Geektacular. Me, myself, was the first thing I studied before going in. Now, let's talk about movie release dates. You put that on the wheel. Maybe you didn't know our new categories? Or you were expecting something else?
No, when I was looking through the different possible choices for what slices to add, movie release dates was something I was always targeting, to be honest. I've been very much trying to make sure that's in my head. I had about, let's say, 8 franchises worth of movie release dates in my head. It was just some of those satellite movies that were the ones that threw off my ability to answer the questions confidently in round 2. So I would pick movie release dates again if I landed on it again. So movie release dates definitely is still, I would say, a strength of
That's good to know. Now, your third round was without any flaws. Answered your 2, answered your 3, got a great pull in as a 5-pointer, and that gave you the match. So going into round 3 and facing that 5-point situation as a rookie for the first time, what were you thinking?
Definitely had the nerves. I was thinking it could have been worse going into the third round. Like being down by 3 isn't great, but 3 isn't an insurmountable lead in the third round. So I was just hoping I could hit my questions, and I was able to hit all 3 today.
Well, congratulations about that. And now you, I don't know if you are aware of this, but now you punched your ticket to World War Geek. It's a free-for-all style Geektacular match and going into it, you have the chance to become the first ever movie trivia face-off Geektacular champion. We have a lot of opponents who want to have something to say about it, but you have that chance. How are you going to prepare? Are you excited? What will it mean to you to be the first ever Geektacular champion?
This was my debut, so it's exciting to get a win and be able to be put in that position right away. So I'm excited to still, again, show off my expert movie knowledge, and hopefully I can show it off in that event as well. I will say that beyond just Geektacular, I actually feel like singles might actually be even stronger than my showing in Geektacular. So if you felt like this match made me look pretty good at Geektacular, singles, I feel like pretty confidently I could be even more of a contender.
Well, you heard it there, folks. He thinks he will be better than this match, which was pretty damn impressive in singles. Well, be aware of the Discord. In the Discord, they ask for singles competitors, rookies for those Fatal 4-ways that are coming up. So be aware, and CommentatoringNerd, congratulations for your victory today. Good luck in World War Geek if it's not against me. And yeah, we'll be right back we'll throw it back to the desk with more on 1 and more on 2.
And we are back from those wonderful interviews by David, the Spaniard Garcia, with both of our competitors today. Here is your word of the day, folks, from the ambassador of the Antlers himself, the Elk. It is strategy. Both players playing a very good strategic game, good use of repeats, very good use of the challenges. Even when it doesn't go your way, I liked both of the challenges today. I think they were playing strong. And Brooklyn Vale making a case saying his man had good accuracy. He had good numbers, and it came down to that 5-pointer. He doesn't like it, feels it's too heavily weighted against him, but that is the way it works here. We're taking from our fan love of the Schmodown. That 5-pointer becomes an all-important question, always a deep cut, always difficult. And when you can pull it out, as the Commentating Nerd did today, you get yourself that big victory and punches his ticket into World War Geek. The sides are being set. Everyone is arming up for that one. It's going to be a crazy matchup. And why shouldn't it be, with the title on the line for the first time ever, Movie Trivia Face-Off Geektacular Championship? Commentating Nerd has his shot. We've got Brannon, who may be able to get through that qualifying match and get himself in there as well. Could maybe get in, get some revenge against the Nerd. But today, it came down to that 5-point question with an impressive answer. Commentating Nerd with the victory and a great matchup. Alex, what did you think of this one?
Well, it was amazing. A little slow in the first. They kept it competitive, 5 and 6 points. Brannon actually picking up 2 steals and doing very well in his round 2. Just couldn't hit the 5. He will have a chance to qualify for World War Geek. As for Commentating Nerd, very impressive. 5-pointer hit in Star Trek. I've done that before. It's no fun. But as far as what he said, yeah, I do have something to say about World War Geek. I'll be there. He'll have to get through me. He'll have to get through about 20 or 30 good so other people. David, kind of deferential in his interview. He won't be that way during the match unless he is. And once again, he won't be the Geektacular champion. An amazing match here today. More, hopefully, in the future.
That's right. With no wheel round and not a lot of respect for your opponents, not going to be seeing a lot of people deferring in that matchup in World War Geek. No deference available. All you got to do is show up, show your knowledge, and see if you can become the first ever champion. That's an amazing matchup we've got coming your way with special guests and a whole lot more, folks. I am looking so forward to that one. And I'm also looking forward to having you back here to join us once again for another wonderful match, whether it's singles, Geektacular, Star Wars, or any of the matches that we are putting out, including the Barroom Brawl, the frenzies. We've got a lot of content coming out for you in these troubled times, a little bit of entertainment to make you smile. We do love having you here. And I will say once again, don't worry, we'll crack that whip on our question writers, but they do work hard. A little bit of trouble today, but they're busting their butts and they're doing it all for free, all for you. So throw them, throw our editors, throw all those people scrolling by on the bottom of your screen a whole lot of love, because we do it so you can have some fun, so you can enjoy the movie trivia. You're going to be back here real soon. You're going to be joined quite frequently by me, the Elk. Aren't you lucky? Maybe I'll be on the desk with my favorite announce partner, one half of the best team in the biz, Alex Frost. Thank you for joining me today on the desk. Everybody here at the Movie Trivia Face-Off, we love you. We love the Schmodown. Check them out if you haven't already. Patreon.com/Schmodown. I always say it. If you like the Movie Trivia Face-Off, you will love the Movie Trivia Schmodown. That's where it all began. A love of movies, a love for you fans, and a whole lot of love to me, the Elk, the best in the biz. I'll see you next time we face off.